Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, long time no see, coming at you here with a Raid Shadow Legends video. We have some stuff to talk about. I kind of saw there was some drama in the Raid Shadow Legends community, people attacking Ash and Saphira and some people that I work with and know. So I wanted to give my thoughts on some of that, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun here and talk about some of the new stuff going on in game, and we'll see if I still got it, if I can still give an opinion on champions, or if I'm completely off base and out of the loop at the moment. So let's get into it. And a huge shout out to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring this video, which is a game that I've been wanting to try out for a while now, and you can too. You can simply use the links that I've provided down below or scan the QR code that you see on the screen to download the game for free and start collecting some free characters. Now, Marvel Strike Force is a free mobile RPG which allows you to battle with your favorite team of superheroes and supervillains to save the universe. Power up your favorite characters to complete missions, unlock tons of resources, and even beat other players in PvP modes. And something that I really love personally is there is always a ton of new ways to battle with your roster that are constantly being released, which keeps the game fresh. Plus, you can even join forces with your friends and other players to compete in raids and alliance wars. So now is as good a time as any to try out Marvel Strike Force, because there are free character giveaways going on in November, like their recent release of Blade and his team of Night Stalkers. But not only that, there was also a brand new game mode called Battle World, which is going to be an exciting PvE mode where you can participate alongside your alliance and get some awesome rewards celebrating Battle World's launch. So with Marvel Strike Force being one of the heavy hitter staple games in this genre, I think it's worth everyone at least trying the game for free to see if they like it, which you can do via the links that I provided for you down below in the description or the QR code that you see on the screen. So a big thank you to Marvel Strike Force. Now let's get back to the video. Alrighty, so first of all, even though I don't upload daily anymore, I'm not like grading the packs and doing morning uploads, talking about everything going on in Raid. Working with Fateless, I do still definitely interact with a lot of people in the Raid community. I see Hell Hades and Saphira and Ash and people like that almost on a daily basis, with all of us kind of mingling and working on different projects together and stepping in meetings and all of that. So I do still kind of see all the stuff that goes on in Raid, even if I'm not uploading daily. And I saw that there was kind of a topic going on here, videos going out about like being brutally honest, and from what I watched in the video, kind of talking about like calling out Ash for doing shard pulls and stuff like that, calling out Saphira for like maybe getting champions nerfed or rushing to conclusions on grading champions too good or too harshly, talking about Plarium, you know, trying too hard to like bring in female content creators or something. And I was gonna do a video talking about all of this stuff, but then I see that Wizard D has been doing like heartfelt apologies and realizing that some of the takes were definitely off base. So some of the roasting that I was gonna do and talking about how crazy some of these takes are isn't really needed anymore, because I think if somebody has a bad take and then they're like, wait a minute, seems like I may have been a little bit off base there, and they genuinely feel bad and they apologize, you know, I don't then want to go through and kick someone while they're down and start critiquing takes that they've already apologized for. So kudos to Wizard for kind of throwing an opinion out there and seeing how people react to it, and then being willing to adjust your way of thinking based on more minds coming together than just your own. Which, I mean, hey, how else are we all supposed to learn how to coexist in society if we don't interact with each other and we don't share opinions and we don't learn what our good opinions are and what our bad opinions are, so that we can grow as a person? So I've never really been a big fan of jumping to cancel people and completely delete them and remove them from society, especially if someone has a bad opinion and they're willing to learn from it and grow as a person. I think we should kind of let that happen. So kudos to Wizard, and yeah, I kind of lost the main topic of some of the things I was going to address, like calling out Ash for doing summoning videos, which I think is crazy, and then the other stuff like calling out Saphira and Plarium and all that for trying to bring in female content creators isn't really needed anymore, so we can just kind of move on. But I do also want to mention that this is kind of a trap of being a content creator. Is like, if you see the views on the content here, you're looking at the channel, you know, 110 views, 483 views, 333 views. Then up here, you start calling people out and you start throwing hot takes around, and you're at 4.1 thousand views. So you're talking about a 10x multiplier on views for someone's channel by being controversial and getting hot takes out there to call out other people. And this is the trap that I've seen lots of content creators fall into. Is, you know, a content creator's got this thirst to keep progressing and keep getting more subscribers and getting more views, and they see the results of what they're getting when they start being more crazy and they start throwing hot takes out there and calling people out. They get the feedback from the marketplace that, like, hey, this is going to help grow your channel. And that's kind of a tough cycle to break when you get rewarded for something that maybe you probably shouldn't do because it might hurt you in the long term. And I'm not going to call out any names, but we've definitely seen this happen a few times in the raid community, where people do something like, oh, I don't know, just throwing something random out there. They quit raid for 6 months and then they randomly come back to do a video calling out the largest creator for simply having an affiliate link to a game down in their show notes of a YouTube video when that person has even done it themselves before. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but maybe something crazy like that. But okay, I thought it might be fun, in honor of coming back and doing a video here with the community, I want to talk about HeMan and Skeletor really quick as some promo champions. Go through their kits and let you know my first impression. I have no clue what they do. I'm just going to pull them up here and talk about them. HeMan is going to be either Bannerlord or Sacred Order. Gotta be right here. Okay, so cool. I have no idea what this kit is. Let's shrink this a little bit and go over this, and I'll see if I can, like, compare it to, I'll pull up, like, the hellhades.com website, and I'll see what they have. I'll see if I can predict the grade that they're going to give them over there. I'm assuming they've graded them already. They're usually pretty on top of keeping their stuff up to date. I haven't looked yet, but we'll figure it out. So we get an A1, attack one enemy, place an extra hit on enemies from the corrupted. So that's going to be a subset here of the different factions. You've got, like, the groups of 4. Okay, so definitely some good champions in there. We're going to get some bonus damage here on the A1 from that. Then we're going to fill the champion's turn meter by 10% and fill turn meter by an additional 2% for each buff on this champion. Okay, we're getting some utility a little bit here for himself. Scales with HP. Pretty good there on a basic. Attack one enemy before attacking, place increase attack buff on the champion for 2 turns. So a self buff. That means it's usually got to grant an extra turn or something if it's not going to do a ton of stuff. We'll ignore Stone Skin. Is nice. The last I was a part of raid, Stone Skin was really in the meta. 4-turn cooldown is a little bit unfortunate, but if he gets a kill, see, it's going to do some turn meter fill. So whenever there's some sort of, like, self-buffing or a long cooldown, like 4 or 5 turns, there's typically something baked in that will help alleviate some of that, and you can see it there at the bottom with the ally turn meter fill to kind of make up for that. Then we have a 3-turn AoE. Damage inflicted by the skill increases by 10% for each buff placed on the champion. Stacks up to 500%, and it resets after the skill is used. That doesn't make sense to me. So last I remember, you could only have, like, 10 buffs for each, like, at a time. So that means you can get it up to 100%. Why does it say stacks up to 500%? Am I missing something? Like, maybe you, like, place a buff and he gets the bonus, and then you remove the buff, or it gets stolen or something, and then you can place another one. I could see maybe getting up to, like, 140, 150. I must be missing something because I don't know why that stacks up to 500%. But either way, it's pretty cool. You can kind of control that, place a bunch of buffs on him, and get him to hit pretty hard here on an AoE. Then we have a passive right here. So increase champion's attack by 5%, or a champion's attack and HP by 5% for each buff. Okay, so I like that. It synergizes with the A3. Strengthen on the champion for 2 turns at the start of each round, and also strengthen on this champion for 2 turns whenever an enemy HP drops below. So he can kind of keep up strengthen pretty consistently, and he's going to be immune to petrify, which if I remember right was mainly who's the Medusa champ, Mithrawa. So okay, I mean, it's passive value. It's pretty cool, and it synergizes with his core and everything. And then we have speed and arena by 28%. That's pretty good. Aura, we've got decent base stats, it looks like. No accuracy, but I don't think he needs it, so that's fine. And then a 1563. Okay. He's a damage dealer. I don't see anything super crazy in his kit. He is the blue affinity, which I believe is the most common. So I'm gonna guess that hellhades.com probably grades him as a 4-star. It's either gonna be a 3.5 or a 4. But I'm assuming the meta has gotten a lot stronger in the last 6 months since I was really deep diving and playing the game daily. So, I mean, I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to go with 4-star on Hell Hades. Let's pull it up. Okay, so there we go. We've got the website pulled up. Champions tier list right here. Been here many times. Now, have they actually graded? It's probably going to be hyphenated like this or something. Oh, a 3.5. Arena 4.5. Okay, I would have expected Arena to be like a 4.0. And then, okay, a little bit. I would have thought like Dungeons would be a 3.5. But okay, yeah, I was thinking 3.5, 4, and I went with 4. But it looks like maybe the meta has creeped a little bit more than I anticipated. So I'm gonna consider that when I grade Skeletor next. But okay, we got semi-close. Now for Skeletor, I never know how to find these kind of champions. Like, are they Undead Horde, or are they Dark Elf, or Knight Revenant? Demon Spawn, probably not. No, probably not Dark Elf. Could be Undead, though. I mean, he's literally a skeleton. Not seeing him here, though, so I guess Knight Revenant, it has to be. Yep, there we go. Okay, Skeletor. All right, looks super cool, by the way. Like they did a good job paying homage to Skeletor, and I like how the camera moved on HeMan. Like as he did his sword, the camera shifted up. So kudos to Raid on pulling off the visuals and stuff. Definitely cool champions here. So okay, we've got an A1. We're gonna have a support hero here. So I'm gonna guess this one's probably a little bit stronger. If the kit is good, I don't know. We'll have to see. Attack one enemy 2 times. Supports are a little bit more valuable from what I remember in Raid. Each hit has a 75% chance of increasing the duration of a random debuff on the target by 1 turn. Scales with HP. That's pretty solid. It's decent. A little bit more. I don't know how power crept though. Attack one enemy, 75% chance of a petrify. That was super rare if I remember right. If the target's a boss, we're still gonna get some value if we can't petrify them. We're gonna place decrease attack and decrease speed. 4-turn cooldown though on a single target debuff. Whenever petrify is removed or expires, we're still gonna place the speed on that same enemy. Single target 4-turn cooldown is a little bit rough. This would be super good early game though. We're gonna place increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns. Okay, again, that's very good early game. 75% chance to steal any block debuffs buffs on 1. Oh, so he's gonna steal. It has to be. That's very specific. That's like a little bit too niche. It is a 3-turn cooldown. The other one was. Oh, I was wrong. Sorry, there's 2 different ones here. It like scrolls down. Okay, so it is a 3-turn cooldown. That's not as rough as I thought. And then yeah, after I kind of noticed there was 2 split up cooldowns, I wanted to make sure and check. But anyway, increase accuracy, 75% chance to place, then decrease turn meter of all enemies by 15% if an enemy is from Telerian. That's a little bit too niche and specific. Accuracy by 60, good base speed, decent base stats. Again, I'm not seeing anything super special other than the petrify, which is nice, and it does get up to 100% on a 3-turn cooldown. I feel like that's gotta have at least some use. And then you get some debuff extension. You scale with HP. The increased accuracy is going to be nice for a lot of PvE content. You can maybe build with a little bit lower accuracy, get a little bit more reliable, but pretty niche. My opinion would be about the same, 3.5 or 4. I feel like maybe this guy's a little bit more generally useful, and HeMan's a little bit more of a specialist. I'd go again though, 3.5, 4. I feel like it's very rare to have the petrify, so I'm gonna go 4 on Skeletor. If gosh, I don't know, it's it's the same thing. It's gonna be 3.5 or 4. I'll probably go with 4. So okay, let's pull up the site here and put in Skeletor. No, 3.5. And only kind of giving him a decent score in the arena. Okay, so saying the Hell Hades website is saying that both of them are kind of underwhelming at 3.5. Like they're both decent, but nothing super good, like a 4, 4.5 or anything like that. Okay, cool. Cool. So I was able to get kind of close, but the power creep has been real. If both these are only a 3.5, it's kind of a little bit lower than I would have thought it would be graded. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and it's always good to be back on the channel and touch base with all of you here. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts down below on the grades and all that good stuff. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.